Up, guys? WW3 back at you. We've got NATO now saying a whole lot. They're actually doing some things that we've never seen them do before. They're warning businesses to get ready for a wartime situation. They're also openly talking about striking Russia, deep within Russia, with all kinds of tactical weapons. They're openly stating this. So it's not like it's a secret or anything like that. Russia knows full well that NATO is saying that they're about to strike them, and they're labeling it a preemptive strike. They're also talking about sending all kinds of troops and nukes, which is the biggest thing. Nukes into Ukraine so that Ukraine can defend itself. They've even made statements that they're going to restore Ukraine's ability to have nuclear weapons. Well, they never had them to begin with. So there's a lot of craziness going on right now, not just out of the Biden regime and the Biden administration trying to kick up World War III. This goes beyond that. This goes into NATO, all the people involved with that, all the generals, all the military. It looks like a huge military move is going to be made very soon. If they're telegraphing it openly, Russia is commenting on this. And as Eric Prince just stated, when it comes to this new hypersonic missile that does Mach 9 that they just dropped in Ukraine, Russia did, the United States has no way to stop it. They have nothing out here on the table on the world stage that's known that can stop it. And until they can stop one and show proof of it, they're saying that they're unstoppable at this point, the hypersonic missiles. And people can argue and say, oh, we got this and we got that. Well, you're living in a fantasy because these are people that don't care about us. They may have huge, badass weapons, but they're not going to use them to defend us. It's all about mauling the people all across the globe. Hey, can't you see? And they're going to continue to do that. We have no Iron Dome in the United States. We ain't stopping no hypersonic anything if they start dropping them on this country. And Americans, they're just going to sleep on it until it's too late, I feel. But once we get hit, it's too late. And that can happen at any time. So we've got a lot of signs out there that they're about to strike Russia preemptively. And, man, if they do something like that, Russia can strike anywhere at any time. And just think about it. What if Russia was set up down at the border of Mexico and they're using foreign troops and weaponry to shoot into America? Would we tolerate it? So, hey, coming to a border near you if you don't watch it. Trump's about to turn our border into a full-fledged war front. So who's to say that that doesn't happen as things escalate from here? I'm telling you, man, big moves. I'm convinced we're already in World War III, but again, the Americans ain't going to see it until we're hit, and then it's going to be too late. I hope you guys got a plan. I hope you're ready. And going into a winter, it would be a bad time to be left in the dark, in the freezing cold. So have a plan. Join me on the live streams Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, 9 p.m. Eastern, where I'm talking about the...
Shalom. Giving all praises to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. Double honors to the apostles, bishops, and elders of Great Millstone. And shalom to you, hopefully elect. I'm your brother Yahweh from the GMS Orlando camp. And there's a lot going on concerning World War III news. All right. It's a lot to keep up with. You know, the MOTB, or the mandation of it rather, because the thing with the MOTB is it's not a thing of it's coming, it's already here, it's been here. It's just a matter of it being a mandation of, you know, it being implanted under the skin, you know. But of course we know that certain prophecies have to well, the MOTB being the main prophecy, which is why I brought it up. Because with all that being said, I'm going to go to this real quick in Revelation. Because we are inching closer and closer to a nuclear winter. You know, a nuclear fallout. Well, I'll say the world. Because the elect are going to get beamed out of here when that nuclear fallout takes place. But matter of fact, before I get that, I'm going to get this. In Isaiah. Because this thing is getting ready to spill over 144 times over. And we ought to just watch the show, you know, watch the sparks fly, or rather watch the nukes fly. Isaiah chapter 14. You know, going into Esau and his downfall. But just to get to the point, Isaiah 14. Bear with me, I just had it. Yeah, Isaiah 14 and 16. Slakia. They that see thee shall narrowly look upon thee and consider thee, saying, is this the man that made the earth to tremble, that did shake kingdoms? Verse 17. That made the world as a wilderness and destroyed the cities thereof, that opened not the house of his prisoners. Again, talking about Esau, is going into his downfall. And more specifically, America, which is the capital of Esau, Edom. You know, America has been set up as a promoter of abominations. All right. And again, this is Esau's capital. All right. And as it tells you in the book of Revelation 18, the iniquities of this place has reached unto the heavens, and it's time for this place to be judged. And the ultimate judgment for this great whore, which the judgment of the whore is the burner with fire, and that's what's getting ready to come upon Babylon the Great. All right. But nevertheless, her time is up. America's time is up. All right. We're at the end of this once great empire. All right. Because unlike all the other ancient empires that ruled before, none of them had complete access or control of the whole world, or the earth. So with that being said, just the point that I wanted to get was, it mentioned in verse 17, making a world a wilderness. All right, because Esau has pretty much has it set up to where the world is a stage. The world is a stage. The world is set up like a Wild West scene, and all these nations are pointing their guns at one another, and everyone's getting into place. All right. And that's why I wanted to go to Revelation 7 real quick, make a quick point in verse 1. And after these things, I saw 4 angels standing on the 4 corners of the earth, holding the 4 winds of the earth, that the wind should not blow on the earth, nor on the sea, nor on any tree, going into the nuclear destruction, this nuclear fallout that will take place. All right. At one point in time, these things seem far-fetched. But now, this is a hot topic. All right. World War III is a hot topic. All right. And you have it to where all these nations are, you even have it to where FEMA has come out with pretty much a memo of preparing for a nuclear fallout, which there's nothing you can do when it comes to a nuclear fallout. There's nothing that you can do. All right. And that's why, again, we are going to have to be delivered out of here, because that's the only escape. All right. But that's why I mentioned the MOTB, because this nuclear destruction, the angels are holding back the nuclear destruction, because certain prophecies have to take place, such as the MOTB, as I mentioned, and other minor prophecies, such as persecution, the spiritual power, right, and a few other things, but mainly that MOTB. And that's why I said in the beginning, that MOTB has to be close. And I believe, just speaking as a man, or I think rather, that MOTB is going to come in the form of some type of a crisis, some type of a overnight thing, black swan event, because we're dangerously close. We're dangerously close. All right. Well, I'll say the world is dangerously close, because the elect are going to have nothing to worry about. All right. The elect have nothing to worry about regardless. All right. But nevertheless, because with all the back and forth with the Russia, the Ukraine, And you have all these Western allies supplying Ukraine with these weapons that they're using against the Russians. And here it is, the Russia they just flexed by shooting some non-nuclear ICBM missiles over there. All right, so some IBM missiles without the warheads. All right, nuclear warheads, and basically it was a flex. All right, well, Ukraine henceforth responded, so it's being suspected of a retaliatory attack, and that's why again, European nations, NATO nations, all right, are pretty much telling their citizens to gear up, all right, prepare, all right, because it's being suspected of a retaliatory attack. Matter of fact, real quick, if I could find this, I actually saw this the other day because it would make sense. It would make sense, with a retaliatory attack. And you see, it's like, because as it's been reported, NATO is preparing a preeminent strike on Russia. All right, because Russia's not playing. This guy Vladimir Putin, he's not playing. All right, he's not bluffing. So it seems, So in order to prevent some type of a major attack, devastating attack or whatever, retaliatory strike or whatever, is being said. NATO's declaring war in a roundabout way. They're planning a preeminent attack. you see, and it's getting dangerously close, to a nuclear fallout, a nuclear winter. I saw this, and I might actually play it if I can find it here on my tablet. Yep. Well, matter of fact, I'll just read the title. It says, alert, EMP attack, Japan and U.S. deploy missiles. Russia warns South Korea. All right, and this was 2 days ago. All right, off of a channel by the name of Grand Supreme News. I also, watch his channel as well. But again, it said alert, EMP attack, Japan and U.S. deploy missiles. Russia warns South Korea. So, because again, in preparations for some type of an attack, and I was going to make the point because it makes sense. If Russia does in fact do something, they make a move against Ukraine, it would only make sense that they would come after its allies as well, which includes America. All right, that's been in the talks. Pretty much I've been all night here on the plantation, just watching stuff. I saw I saw a few live press conferences or whatever you want to call them. Just try to pull them up real quick, because again, we're getting dangerously close. Well, Salakia, the world is getting dangerously close. Like I said, at one point, what sounded so far-fetched concerning the missiles, the nuclear missiles, it was crazy and conspiracy theorists, and turning out to be conspiracy facts, But like I said, I've just been watching all night, because these news articles, and this information is coming out back to back. So, as I always say, any day, any moment, things can pop off, right? But I saw a video going into Putin, and it was pretty much an open threat to Britain, America, right? And like I said, this guy's not bluffing, man. It was a public address, going into an attack, or the right, basically the right to defend himself, um, and use certain of these missiles, since again the Ukraine is being supplied by America and Western allies, right? And I also saw some speeches. Trump was going live, uh, going into no, well, he mentioned he mentioned something about this whole thing with Russia, not even being because I'm waiting on Trump to mention something about basically domestic terrorism, which in a roundabout way he did mention it in his live speech, because he mentioned Russia, but he mentioned how Russia wasn't the America's biggest enemy. Russia isn't America's biggest threat. It was America's biggest threat is from within, and just in a roundabout way, just trying to pay attention to the details, extrapolate through the spirit, because we know it's just a matter of time before they come against the prophets. Like I said, the main prophecy we want to look out for is the MOTB, but other minor prophecies as well, such as the persecution, like I mentioned earlier, So, like I said, man, there's a lot of things. Nevertheless, either way, war is in the air. All right. And dealing with these hypersonic missiles, Putin is basically talking shit. He's flexing, because America has no defense against, which reminds me of this. And like I said, you watch certain of these speeches that Vladimir Putin is giving. He's basically talking shit, He's basically talking shit, And dude ain't bluffing. I don't believe he's bluffing, Because these nations, man, especially America and, the Western allies, man, they've been poking this bear, man, And they're trying to provoke him to make a move, so that way they'll be justified. They're talking about providing Ukraine with nuclear weapons. That way this shit pops off. The West can blame Ukraine, because that's what the West, more particular America, and it just makes sense more and more pursuant to the prophecies of why these other nations, such as the Beast, right, NATO and the EU, are going to end up shooting missiles on America. More and more makes sense. More and more it's becoming clear. All right, because it's nothing for America like they did Taiwan. It's nothing for America to do its allies to basically fuck over its allies. It's nothing for America to do so. But the fact that there's it's being said that they're in talks of supplying Ukraine with these nuclear weapons. All right, that way when this shit does pop off, if something does pop off, they can blame Ukraine, right? But I'm gonna get this in Ezekiel 38. Because again, dealing with these hypersonic missiles, like I said, Vladimir Putin, man, he's basically flexing, he's flexing and he's talking shit, because he knows they don't have the defensive capabilities. It's been coming out as far as Russia's weaponry technology. They're 40 years in advance as far as their technology, when it comes to America. And its technology, military technology and whatnot, missiles, and Russia's way ahead of America. So America doesn't have any type of defense against these hypersonic missiles, and Putin is calling him out. Putin is basically calling out the West and its the Western allies, like, I have the right to defend myself, and y'all want to keep pushing my buttons. Y'all want to keep pushing these buttons. Well. He's basically saying, I'm gonna be forced to make a move, man. So these nations, man, European nations, NATO nations, Western allies, man, they're prepping, getting ready for an attack. And here it is again. NATO is talking about a preeminent attack. So this thing is heating up, man. And like I said, this thing is getting ready to spill over 144 times over. So call Haloyim Yahweh Ba'Shem El Shai. But I want to get this in Ezekiel 38. Ezekiel 38. I'm gonna read verse 10. Thus saith the Lord power, it shall also come to pass that at the same time shall things come into thy mind, and thou shalt think an evil thought. So something's gonna happen. Because all type of red lines have been crossed over the years. Russia in particular, they keep drawing these lines, man, and the Western allies, they continue to cross those boundaries, man. Russia sets up these boundaries that the West continues to cross those boundaries. Well, it's going to get to a point where, hey, something's going to happen, all right, and it's going to get past the point of no return. As a matter of fact, let me get this. In Isaiah 13, Isaiah 13 and 17. Behold, I will stir up the Medes against them. And like I said, man, through the Spirit of the Lord, man, this guy, I don't believe he's bluffing. This guy, Vladimir Putin, I don't believe he's bluffing, man. It says, again, behold, I will stir up the Medes against them, which shall not regard silver, and as for gold, they shall not delight in it. So, like I said, once it gets to that point, past the point of no return, at that point, something's going to happen, and them Russians are going to say, fuck it. All right. And there's not going to be any type of bargaining. There's not going to be no going back, because, hey, you keep poking that bear, man. You keep poking that bear. Eventually, the bear's going to come out and attack. All right. Going back to Ezekiel 38 in verse 11, it says, and thou shalt say, I will go up to the land of unwalled villages. I will go to them that are at rest and dwell safely. And like I said, I'm gonna read that again in verse 11. And thou shalt say, I will go up to the land of unwalled villages. So you see, again, America's wide open. All right. And again, America's, here it is. America's surrounded by, nothing but water. It's been said that, certain of the, these nations such as Russia, they have certain technologies to where they can cause tsunamis. Right. And again, America's surrounded by nothing but water, and here it is. You got Russian submarine Russian submarines off of certain coasts. America's being surrounded, and that's not even to mention Moab, the so-called Chinese. We can't sleep on them. Hey, North Korea has been getting involved, right? Like the video that I've referenced earlier, because Russia was threatening South Korea. So the winds of destruction are being withheld, as I read in Revelation 7. All right. But nevertheless, we are inching closer and closer, But nevertheless, like I mentioned, I will go up to the land of unwalled villages. All right. Again, America has no type of defensive system that's going to be able to, stop those missiles from hitting this bitch. All right. Again, Russia's technology is far more advanced. America's technology is way outdated, because that's a part of the pride of Babylon. All right. They tested a ICBM missile not too long ago, a couple of months back, and it failed. Because the systems are outdated. The technology is outdated because America's never lost a war. America's never lost a war. So to America, it's like, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. But the pride has deceived Esau. All right. And like the scriptures say, because of the pride of thy cities, because of the pride of this place. All right. This place is going to fall, man. This place is in trouble. All right. And again, Putin has been calling it out. As far as what we've got, America, they don't possess the capabilities. There's no type of defense against what we've got, man. So you're screwed. It's pretty much what Vladimir Putin. You're screwed. You know, it says, I will go to them that are at rest and dwell safely. That dwell safely. All of them dwelling without walls and having neither bars nor gates. So you see, man, America has no type of defense system. Just open, just bare. All right. You see, man, and these people there at rest, like I said, all these other nations, European nations, NATO nations, you know, American allies, Western allies, man, they're preparing. They're telling their citizens, hey, they're sending out these memos, hey, getting ready for a nuclear, you know, in case of a nuclear fallout, you know, go to your nearest shelter. You want to get your bug out bags and radiation suits and all that, which none of that's going to save you. But here it is. These Americans are just at rest. They're just simple. They're just, you know, the scriptures say, a prudent man foresees the evil and he hides himself. These Americans think that they have nothing to worry about. You know, these are simple Babylonians, man. They don't feel that, because again, America's never lost a war, and America's never seen war on American soil. Well, hey, that's why America is also known as the virgin daughter of Babylon. And now, as I always say, this bitch is about to get her cherry popped. All right, because America's about to see war. All right, war is coming to America. All right, on the shores of America. You know, people are having all type of dreams about, you know, America being invaded, all right, by foreign troops, you know. And as I always say, America real soon is about to be real unrecognizable. America's about to be real soon the worst place to be. All right. But, you know, this thing is getting ready to spill over 10 times over, 144 times over, you know. So, hey, you know, we're just going to enjoy the show. Lord, want to wear that number. We're just going to enjoy the show, man. But this thing is heating up, you know, just some World War III news, Lord willing. This was edifying. Call Haloyim Yahweh Bahashim Yahweh Shai. Shalom to you, hopefully.